So when Yuno used Wind Spirit Creation magic, it released four kind of weapons of Yuno's choosing of when he is battling his opponents. And these weapons represents the four Greek gods of the wind, which their names are the Spirit of Zephyr, which represents the west wind, what that associates with the springtime, the Spirit of Boreas, which is the north wind that represents the winter time, the Spirit of Eurus, which is the east wind that represents the fall, and we have the Spirit of Notice, which is the south wind that represents the summer. And with the assist of having the Wind Spirit Bell, Yuno is able to unlock all four of these abilities and weapons. And the first one he was able to unlock is the Spirit of Zephyr, which Yuno is able to have a large two-handed sword. And the sword can be used to cut through any enemy, or it can manifest into a giant tornado around the sword. With the Spirit of Zephyr, it can also weaken any material until it could be cut. And this is this weapon that we see Yuno use the most throughout all of his battles when he unlocked the Spirit of Zephyr for the first time. And we normally see Yuno use this weapon when his last final attack to defeat his enemies. So then the second form, the Spirit of Boreas, which the weapon is a halberd. And a halberd is kind of like a spear and an axe combined. But the halberd can be used to release a gust of wind that's capable of shattering and disintegrating any devil reformed magic. And we see that the Spirit of Boreas can also be used to drill winds into its target, like how we saw Yuno versus Xenon when Yuno released the Spirit of Boreas to destroy Xenon's spatial magic and also his bone magic, because these were tough interiors. And we also see him were able to drill a hole and inflict damage to Xenon back in chapter 276. So basically this form is to shatter and destroy any tough interior attack or physical attack, so that way you can go through and defeat your enemies. For an example, the battle between Yuno and Xenon, how he was able to destroy Xenon's bone magic. And now with the third form, the Spirit of Eurus, Yuno can charge a large amount of magical power to form a bow and arrow. And with the Spirit of Eurus, it can be used to fire an extremely fast and powerful arrow. And this arrow is capable enough to pierce through a body and by the boost of the devil power without any issue. And this arrow, when Yuno shoots it, it's so fast that you can't even blink. By the time that you blink, you've already been hit by the arrow. And we've seen it when he used it on Xenon, when Xenon was at 80% devil power. And the arrow can do massive damage, or it could be one fatal attack if you actually hit the right spot to destroy your enemy, which we saw Yuno display this attack against Xenon, and he was able enough to put massive damage to him to the point where Xenon was dying, but he had time to save himself when he made a deal with his own devil. And he even stated to Yuno that if he actually hit at the right target, he will be able enough to defeat him permanently. And now with the last form, the Spirit of Notice, which is actually a shield that is so powerful that it has strong winds that rebuke all incoming attacks. And we see that Yuno was able to use this against Lucius when Lucius was trying to make Xenon to be a paladin. And we see how Yuno was able to summon this shield, and the shield was able to stop Lucius' attack, which actually stunned him. So this shield is very powerful and is able to block any powerful attack, even soul magic or any kind. So this form is a very good defense form for Yuno. So when he is in a tough situation, he is able to protect himself. Now that Yuno is able to access all of these four forms, the biggest question that's probably very insane is that is Tabata is going to give Yuno a new form that will represent all of these four forms together. Now, the series still keeps going on, so it could be a possibility, but at the same time, I really don't see this happening since these four forms represents and reference to the wind gods and each directions and seasons. But anything is possible at this moment of Black Clover. But let me know down in the comment section which favorite form that you guys like. And if you guys do like the video, please give it a like, subscribe, and remember, always be decent. This is the Monotone Man, and hope you guys have a wonderful day and be safe and be decent.